another pharmacy chain. And the final piece of us that I'd like to communicate to you is that we're pharmacist-led. Bereza, who's on the webinar today with us, he's our clinical director, and he's a pharmacist. He's the pharmacist that developed all these PGDs, and for the reason we believe that we are very well placed to understand the needs of pharmacists, and our products have been designed really with them in mind. Right. I'm going to have to get to grips with this whole webinar thing because it's the first time I've ever done one. PharmaDoctor itself is a for patients as well as pharmacist professionals. When you go to the site, you're invited to choose whether you're a patient or a pharmacist. So for today's purposes, we're going to mainly look at the pharmacist section, but I'm more than happy to show you a bit of the patient side if needed afterwards. PharmaDoctor has three essential services. I'll be mainly focusing on the travel clinic today. The travel clinic is based on a PGD consultation solution. GPC registered pharmacies can set up and run a travel clinic on their premises. Our clinic solution has been perfected over the last 3 years by Mike Bereza, our pilot pharmacy, Douglas Pharmacy. Now we have over 50 pharmacies who have completed our training and have run successful travel clinics now. The first ones we had set up were about a year ago. From them, we've had excellent feedback really last year with regards to running the service. They identify that it's rewarding professionally and financially. If just take a moment here to just show you the list of treatments that we offer on the travel clinic solution. These are all the treatments that are offered in the entire package. They are the sort of treatments that you would find at all major travel clinics. The solution is just these that are not vaccinations, but for oral treatments. These are available on a pay-per-use basis because we found that in the last year that a lot of pharmacists were only getting 1 or 2 consultations per PGD. So an initial investment of £50–60 on that PGD didn't seem worthwhile. For that reason, we've made it available on a pay-per-use basis. And finally, our third service is an online doctor solution, which is free for all pharmacies to use. It's instantly available when you register. Pharmacies can refer patients to it without necessarily needing a website. The content and everything is sorted out by ourselves, and the prescription is sent to the pharmacy for fulfillment directly to the patient. So just to look a bit more closely at the services that we offer. The first one, the travel clinic. It's about a month to set up this travel clinic. The whole process requires days training with our GSK registered nurse and Mike Bereza. This is booked in advance. There is online training required. And then once that's all been completed, you can book a site visit from our nurse who will take a face-to-face assessment with you and then let you take following consultations, travel consultations. And from that assessment, you can then sign you off. And you're effectively ready to use our service and offer all these PGDs in the clinic. I'll look a little bit more in depth at the financials of that later on. So the next service, the PGDs, at £60 a year. So on the pay-use version, which is available for all the oral PGDs, as you see here, we make payment when a successful consultation has been made. That £5 payment charge, I'll explain to you how that process is recorded later on. So after 12 consultations, £60 charged, that PGD, any of these PGDs are free for you to use. Find doctor's prescription. The covers pay, the pharmacies will set the treatment price and the delivery price. The customers will order on solution, and they pay those two prices plus our prescription charge. We pay pharmacies the week after the price and the delivery price that they set, plus 20% of our prescription fee. The prescription fee at the moment is set to £20, but we're looking at possible changes for that with treatments that are low cost. The assessment is being monitored at the moment, so we'll be able to give new prices on that soon. But for the moment, it's £20 on the first consultation. Pharmacist takes care of all the customer service, and the prescription will be sent to you into your admin area, where you can note of it, add into your POR system, and be able to dispense it as requested by the customer. The other solution really complements the travel clinic as well as pay-per-use PGDs. There is, if a customer walks in, for example, and they are excluded from the PGD, they can order online. The doctor has a wider scope. So as a service, it works very well with the other two. Now, what's the travel clinic, which I'll mainly be focusing on? The advantages for the pharmacies to set up a travel clinic are, compared to a walk-in travel clinic such as Nomad or Master that use Central London, for example. Pharmacies have less capital investment, or little no capital investment required. Consultation rooms already. There's an extra staff required, no doctor or nurse required. The pharmacists can do the consultations themselves. For that reason, there is no charge, there's no cost really for the pharmacies to be offering that service. The pharmacists are there quite 9 to 7 days a week. It can really be a walk-in service. So a lot of doctors, clinics would not be able to offer. This is a typical session at our pharmacy. This was a session starting at 3 p.m. and it consisted of about 8 appointments, a few missed slots. The average profit per consultation was about £56, and as you can see on the columns, your cost for entire service for that day going up to about £362. The price customer being about £984, giving a total profit of over £550. So you can see it, particularly the rewards are great. Now, our travel clinic list price is £2,000. However, we've not, pharmacies, once they start going, they make that money back quite quickly. Most pharmacies make it back within 2 months or earlier. Even submitting it as a walk-in and not having this many consultations. Literally 1 or 2 consultations a day would suffice to make it very economically viable. So you have a look at that a bit more closely. As you see, here you have different vaccines that have been offered. This example here, the top or the second and the third line where Vietnam is indicated. That was a couple going to the same country. One of them already had vaccinations, the other one needed a few more. So often you could do 2s and 3s at the same time, depending on how many people are travelling together. It makes the consultation process quicker. Look at compared to our competitors. Our 3 main PD providers, we're the only people that provide a travel clinic service. Ones that do not charge as well, all services are initially available for free. All PGDs, the registration, the end doctor. It's like the travel clinic that we require an upfront cost for. But we're the only provider that has service. I'm going to tell you a bit about how the CE works. 2 types of accounts. There's a pharmacy account, used for, and a pharmacist account. Only pharmacists can use the PGDs, whereas a pharmacy user can control and view all the PGDs and pharmacists that have registered connected to that pharmacy account. Pharmacy account area, some useful jobs to do, which guide the pharmacy owner or manager through the process of how to set up their account. These are quite simple. There's to pay for PGDs. There's in-pharmacists. Then activate yourself as a pharmacist, which will then mean that the pharmacist user and the pharmacy account join together. The feature we developed for pharmacy owners, pharmacists themselves, so they only have one account to go into. When you're in as a pharmacist, you're presented first of all with other PGDs available. Vaccine PGDs and oral PGDs. Each PGD, when you click into it, a box on the right hand side of what to do, which will get you through the PGD and what you need to do. There's 2 documents on each PGD available in the training documents page. The RAF, which is a risk assessment form, and the second is a PGD. We're going to have a quick look at these right now. This is the PGD. This is an authorized PGD. It has on it the name of the superintendent of pharmacy. It has pharmacist who it's for and the name of the pharmacy. The PGD, each PGD itself is the basis for all the online assessments. Each PGD requires an online assessment to be completed by the pharmacist. The main points to know for the PGDs are the exclusion and inclusion criteria. These are on the PGD. For this document, we recommend that you store, you print, and you store in your consultation room before ready for a consultation. We'll email you any updates, so you'll be able to re-download that PGD and reprint it off. So that document, which I showed you how to get to, is the document that you need to work from. The other document is the risk assessment form. This is a form that the customer will fill out. The form is for erectile dysfunction, however, there's one for travel clinic. You can pre-print them, and they'll be available for the counter staff to give to the patients as they walk in. Once the patient has filled out the form, then to the consultation room. Consultation can be completed using the details from the risk assessment form and following the criteria for the PGD itself. Has a walkthrough which explains to you how the entire process is done with those two documents, the PG and the RAF. There's for each PGD as well. Further reading resources available as well. So this one here for Malarone. But anyway. The Malarone sub. This is the extra resources. It's a video available for that PGD. So what else is needed for setting up a travel clinic? It's a month's work to set up a travel clinic from start to finish. For normal oral PGD, it's only about 2 hours to 4 hours of online training. For this to really work, it needs really a mindset by a lot of pharmacists. Reorganization of their pharmacy would often help, and alignment energy, but the rewards can be great, as you can see with the financials earlier on. We'll provide clinical support from our site visits and nurses. You can phone up, and we provide clinical support on the phone if needed, if there's a difficult consultation. Or alternatively, you can escalate any consultation to our online doctor solution. Finally, we provide, especially with the travel clinic, a lot of marketing resources. We understand that these services would be next to useless if no customers knew about them. So we provide PR templates, press releases. We have we're lucky to have Louise Stone, who's our PR consultant. She worked for Boots and launched their PGD services and their online doctor service last year. She's helped provide for us an online a press pack for is complete with PR templates. A lot of leaflets are available to pay, or alternatively there are lower quality versions available free of charge. We have lots of marketing ideas to provide for each pharmacy, depending on what location they're at, and we guide pharmacies regard so their travel clinic is absolutely a success. Now, I'm going to leave the forum open for questions now. Mike is available to help with and answers of this section. For now, I'm just going to leave you with the slide doing the available for our travel clinic, and I'll give you back off to Dipen to share the questions and answers.
Thanks for that. It was a really interesting presentation, and thanks for the time again that you've taken to do that. What I'm going to do is take a number of questions. So, for example, if you have got any questions, then two things you can do. You can either unmute, and there's not too many. You can either unmute yourself and just speak. If, however, you're feeling a little bit shy, feel free to type in the chat box as well. And what I'll do is you can talk privately to me, and I'll ask it if necessary. But as chairman's privilege, I'm going to just quickly ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind. And these sort of things that sort of like cropped up recently as well, and something that maybe you might be able to help answer as well. I mean, I got a very interesting email the other day about a well-known multiple who's considering these services as well, and as a national type of service. I was just wondering whether or not you could actually make a comment or something like that on that, and to see why they're doing that, and what impact it might have. What impact that might have. I just got a text there for somebody. I'll put it out. What impact that might have for the service, and yeah, if you could maybe comment on that, really.
What do you mean? Multiples as large independent chains?
No, there's a large. I mean, from the impression I got, the email was from a large multiple. I mean, not multiple. Say,
well, a lot of for us, we've very much in mind of championing small independent pharmacies, because although multiples will have a lot of marketing power behind them, we feel that these clinical services would be absolutely brilliant for small independent pharmacies to offer. The small independent pharmacists, they very much are at the heart of their community. People know they have more time for their community. I walked into Superdrug and half a dozen other big pharmacies owned by corporations such as Co-op and Tesco and other companies like that, Superdrug and the lot. They don't have that warm feeling of approachability which pharmacists have. So, with regard to the pharmacists online today and what they're thinking, it shows that it's a profitable service. It shows that big multiples are thinking about this and investing. We have been approached ourselves as well. But with regards to small independents, we believe it's much more the service that they could provide would be far better and more appropriate for a clinical service as well.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you. Just a couple more questions. I'm getting a few texts coming in, so I'm gonna ask those in a second. But there's a couple of other things that sort of cropped up. In terms of the profitability of the service as well, how long did it take to actually get to that level that you demonstrated on the screen itself?
Right, so that was Mike's pharmacy. I do believe that was an earlier example of his consultations. In fact, it might be. Is Mike available on?
I can certainly. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah. What Joe presented was the first year's account.
Sorry, Mike. I don't think we can hear you very well.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think that should be fine. Well, I can hear you. Yeah.
Where these figures come from is it's really the kind of first year's accounts that we did at our kind of test site at Douglas. Which is showing this is kind of like an average day. This is actually 4 or 5 hours. You were talking before about a large multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that press release as well. That large multiple was owned by a company in America called Walgreens. In the States, They in America, if you go to any pharmacy, pretty much, they can administer any vaccine that you like. It's been common practice for the past 2-3 decades. It's been that long.
Right.
The reason why they're coming into this market is because of the profitability. I think in that press release it said something like the margins were somewhere near 600%.
Right.
In my experience, the most common vaccinations available, which you would administer to a patient, are hepatitis A, DTP, and typhoid. Hepatitis A you can buy for about £12, typhoid about £8, DTP for about £8 as well. So your overall cost, which you can see there with the person going to Vietnam, is around about £30. Mm-hmm. The resale to the customer is around about 105. So you're making about £70 profit on a consultation, which, depending on your expertise in the field.
I think you might need to just speak up a little bit, if that's all right. Sorry.
Sorry. Overall, the profitability of it is about £70, and you're doing a consultation, which takes you about 20 minutes.
Right. Okay. It's pretty good value. I mean, this was one of your sort of earlier consultations. Is that correct? So, I mean, I presume that that's sort of like you've worked on that now and sort of like developed it much further and sort of honed in your skills in it. Yeah.
Well, we've just to give a note on the service. This particular pharmacy, Douglas Pharmacy, which Mike runs, I think isn't it about 3 or 4 other pharmacies very local to you that now have this service up and running?
Yeah, we're located on Upper Street.
Seems to be they're achieving this, if not more, already.
Yeah.
And there seems to be definitely. I mean, depends on the area. We don't want to oversell this service, but depending on the area, there's a lot of capacity for this service. A lot of Mike's referrals he got from travel agents or doctor surgeries. We provide letters and referral notes for pharmacies so that they can go to local travel agents and referral notes to them. So it gives the customer an incentive to go to your travel clinic because there would be money off, and then you would then incentivize the trade agency by giving them money as well for each referral. You're collecting the tickets, and so you see who's giving you these referrals. And we can help really set up, help advise and set up your travel clinic so that you can get all the customers coming in, either from doctors or referrals. And it should be quite possible if your pharmacy is located in a good area and with good marketing to achieve these sort of numbers. I think Mike has stats on a pharmacy in East London, in what we would consider not a very profitable area, and they do a lot of consultations. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah. As it's to do with demographic. We're quite lucky in Islington that we've got quite an affluent demographic, but certain areas which, for instance, high Muslim population, we have the one in East London. He's a mosque and the imam, and he gets lots of meningitis vaccines for the Hajj. But also other things as well, like occupational health centres, DASH specifically. They used to offer all of their methadone patients hepatitis B vaccinations and testing, and since last year that's all gone into the private sector, and those patients have gone down to private clinics and paid kind of extortionate amounts, whereas pharmacists can offer exactly the same service at a lot lower cost. So we're seeing a lot of our travel call members approaching DASH clinics and other drug and alcohol services and doing hepatitis B vaccination.
Basically, I think there is a huge amount of profitability that you believe in this, and effectively. So hence the reason why this is such a really good service as well to have. And if the multiples are actually going for it, then there must be something in it, really, isn't it? If you think about it. So
We just want that multiple release is a very positive thing because it just really confirmed what we thought was true.
Yeah, brilliant. One from the audience now. I've got a question here from somebody. They're basically here they're saying, are children also included in the travel criteria, included criteria for travel vaccination?
Not initially. Initially, we limit the pharmacist to above 12 years of age. The reason for that is once you go below 12 years of age, it gets a little bit more complicated. You have to do anaphylaxis in children. There's certain child protection issues which we need to address. But for existing Travel Corps members, we're releasing actually in this month the ability to do children under 12 years of age, and all it is just a little bit of training, which they mainly do online, but they come and see us, and we update the anaphylaxis and CPR for them.
So basically, there is a facility to include children in there as well, yeah.
There is.
Okay.
What we want to do is make sure that it's only offered to people that have already operated a travel clinic, have had some experience, and it's in effect a step up of the operation and their clinical abilities. So we like to leave it a little while before we offer that to people that have already ordered the travel clinic. We'd also offer Yeva as an added bolt-on as well. That's not included in the main travel clinic package, only because it requires separate NAFNAC registration. But we cut with that, and there is a separate PGD that bolts onto that to help.
Yeah, the yellow fever as well. That's probably one of the more complicated ones in terms of the legal ramifications of it. So you can provide the facilities to do that as a PGD as well. Yeah, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So again, it's exactly the same with children and with yellow fever. There are abilities within the system for a pharmacist who's already got Travel Corps to step up and improve the package of services that they're offering.
Okay, brilliant. If there's anybody else who wants to ask, so I've been asking questions from members of the audience who've been filtering through. Just to know that, we are obviously in discussions at the moment, PharmPlus and PharmaDoctor as well, in terms of packaging their services in one and sending it on to our members as well. And obviously, considering the event that actually happened this week, especially with the multiples as well, it's something that you may want to consider. And obviously, if it is something you may want to consider, then feel free to contact us or PharmaDoctor as well to sort of like discuss your needs, and hopefully we'll be able to sort of support you in developing your travel clinics and your PGDs as well. Just another thing as well with the PGDs. I'm not sure if everybody quite understood that. So are you basically saying that there's two different types of PGDs? There's ones you pay on an annual basis, as well as you pay as you go.
That's right. So there are two types of PGDs. All right. So if you go click on PGDs, you'll see that there is PGDs from £5. 1 second. It's been a while since I've looked at these pages. So there's the PGDs available. There's oral PGDs. This is a complete list of all the oral PGDs. They're available either to buy outright, that you would be able to use that PGD for the whole year as many times as you would like. We usually recommend the buy outright option for the erectile dysfunction and the malaria PGDs, as they have high usage. For hair loss and quit smoking and the weight loss, they are unlikely to really see the huge returns. You'd have to market heavily. You wouldn't just get walk-in customers. Not we recommend you to just leave it to walk-ins, but everything should be marketed, and we'd be happy to help that. But with regards to saving your financial investment, as it were, or making sure that it's not a risk, all the other PGDs are available on a pay-per-use basis, so that there is no charge to go online, register, the assessments, and then be approved to offer that service to your customers. The only charge would start when that customer has walked in and you have successfully completed a consultation. And so for that reason, the PGDs, we've removed the barrier, as it were, of a financial investment that the PGDs had in earlier models offered by competitors and ourselves earlier on. And we think that this pay-per-use method is fairer for the small independent pharmacies. It allows them to really offer a wider clinical service. If they're free to take all these PGDs, there's no cost. And so if they were to take all these PGD assessments and be able to offer them to their customers, it would be a very wide clinical service, not just one or two PGDs. And we feel that that's a better solution for the local independent pharmacies.
That's great. Just one from the audience as well. I was just wondering whether or not you could possibly go over the payment structure of the pharma doctor service itself, and and how the
online doctor.
Exactly, yeah, and how they would they would get their money from it that way as well. So, and what the initial outlay of the cost is, if you wouldn't mind just going over that quickly as well.
Yes, no problem. I'll just show you inside a account of a pharmacy. So when you're logged in as a pharmacy user, you have the ability to manage the payment of the PGDs and manage pharmacists, but there's also this button up here, Online Doctor, where you can review all the orders that come in. In here, you can set the price for all the treatments. So this is the price that you require for each product. So you've got, for example, Cialis, Tadalafil for 10 milligrams, and that's the price that this particular pharmacy user has requested that they would look for that product. You can put whatever price you want. We don't fix them. We offer a suggested price, which we autofill. But that's it's just based on what we know works. A good model that provides a bit of profit margin, but is attractive enough for customers. The second price you set is the delivery price. With delivery methods available, so you can select which one you want to activate. Everyone hear me?
It's still there.
Yep. Okay. So you can set which ones you want to activate. Special delivery is the one we suggest, and we autofill that with the profit. And that's actually been raised to £7 recently, and I think it might be raised again because Royal Mail has added their prices, up their prices. But each pharmacy can stipulate a different delivery service if they want. Selecting courier, add price they want. So when the customer logs into Pharma Doctor, they are presented prices which are based on these prices. As you can see, an example, the 4 10 milligram Cialis is actually now £52.45. The price is all bundled in together for the customer. The price is the product price that was set by pharmacy plus our prescription charge, which is £25. The delivery option is offered later on as well. As you can see, the customer can select to pick up that order from the pharmacy at no extra delivery cost, or the delivery method that is made available by the pharmacy. In this case, this is a shelf pharmacy, is available for the customer to select. So, example that I'm putting here. This example, the pharmacy would paid their product price, 20% of the consultation fee, which is £25. They would be paid £5. They'd be paid the product price plus £5 plus the delivery charge. We tend to find that repeats are quite good on this solution. So the average customer repeats we've worked out that the average customer repeats about 3 times, and the average profit margin for a pharmacy over a year on the average customer they get is over £50. So that's not bad.
Okay, brilliant. And just to be clear, apart from, I mean, the costs of the Farmer Doc service are borne by the patient themselves, not by the pharmacy. Is that correct? So,
that's right. That's right. So the pharmacy, they would only receive the prescription. That's all they'd know about it. And on that prescription and that order detail, there would be what that pharmacy needs to do with that order. Mm-hmm. The customer would be totally dealt with by ourselves. The payment, the customer service, consultation. It actually needs to be done like that because they're doing a consultation with a doctor, and it's only when they have their prescription has been written that really the details can be passed on to the pharmacist. By that stage, the payment's already been taken and everything. So really, for customer confidentiality, we do the entire process. It also helps to just keep it simpler for the customers. A lot of pharmacies are just actually getting their customers that are in their store. They phone us up, and they say, "I have a customer here that wants Viagra," and we take the order over the phone. Then the prescription is sent to the pharmacy electronically within minutes, about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then the customer can just pick up the prescription there from that pharmacy. So there's lots of ways where you can take orders. Either the solution can be embedded in your site. I'll just show you a solution embedded on Mike's site. So this is Mike's pharmacy site, Douglas Pharmacy, and if you click on Online Doctor, you get the embedded solution where a customer can order. This embedded solution, that white bit that you can see, that can be presented on an iPad as well in your shop. Someone can order inside your shop, maybe in your consultation room, any one of the treatments available. I'll just actually show you the treatments available to customers. There's a limited. It's not an open consultation format. There is a limited amount of conditions and treatments that can be
It's 100 medicines and key conditions. Is that right, Joe?
Right, yes. Covering about, I think, 27 conditions, yeah. Any other questions with regard to the Online Doctor?
I'm not getting any more coming through, so anybody has any more questions, then feel free to type or ask.
We tried just to complete the Online Doctor solution. Inside, as you logged in as a pharmacy, we provide implementation. There's 3 types of implementation that we offer. There's an embed solution that I showed you. There's a pop-up solution and a referral solution. You just send customers using a link. There's information about how you can refer customers. For example, this is what you can present your customers on an iPad. The solution is responsive, so it changes. So if your customer is on an iPhone, for example, it would present in this format, which is very condensed for a phone. The format presents itself larger this way for a desktop, And for an iPad, it's quite an elegant solution. The iPad would present itself. I do something a bit like that. That you could have that link locked on your iPad. You could have your iPad bolted onto your countertop, and patients, if so long as it's discreet, a bit like a polling booth maybe set up, the customers would be able to just order the treatments there and pick them up within minutes.
Excellent. Okay, I'm just looking at the time now. I think we're coming up to time now, so it's coming up to 9 o'clock. So unless anybody has any burning questions, now's the time to sort of ask it. So I'll give it maybe a couple of seconds there for somebody else to type it up. In the meantime, for members who've just joined and members who are sort of like on the verge of sort of joining something like this, we would probably encourage you to do something like this, and we would obviously. But as you can probably see, there's three really good, exciting services out here. The pay-go PGDs, the pay-as-you-go Pharma Doctor. Well, actually, it's a free service, isn't it? It's not just pay-as-you-go. And also the travel clinic, whereby if the multiples are recognising it, then maybe you may want to consider it yourselves as well. We're obviously negotiating on our members' behalf with yourselves as well on a really good deal. It's sort of like in late stages now, isn't it? And we're like on the verge of signing a contract now.
I'd just like to add one more thing quickly, Dipin. One of our main goals is to create a network of pharmacies. We're really holding back on our own marketing to the public. This is currently a large of all the registered pharmacies in our network. Not all of them have travel clinics. This is about 200 pharmacies we have. We need a lot of them sort of set up with a lot of the PGD services, because some of them have one service or not another service. Our aim is really to focus in on London. As we've signed up quite a few in that little area, and then once we actually develop a decent network, then we can start marketing it to Evening Standard, newspapers, local newspapers, and really get customers coming into the service. So, just to give you a quick example of what we intend to do, a customer would come into the site, and you don't have a registered pharmacy already set for their cookies or in their computer. We would present to them. Sorry, delete these cookies. We would present the customer the option to select. As you hear, they can select what pharmacy they want to join up to. So, Victoria, London. All they have to do is put in their location, and as you can see, I can even spell it wrong, and the local pharmacy will appear at those prices. So we're going to be referring customers to our pharmacy network. We do have potential with SEO, but as yet I'm in effect holding back the floodgates until I have a good representation of pharmacies all over. I'll just give you an example of our SEO abilities. If you search private prescriptions on Google, for example, we're top there. So the long-term aim is that by joining our network, as it were, you would actually be gaining, and the service itself would be then much more recognisable.
Okay, I can't see anybody else asking anything more. So I'm pretty sure draw a line now. So again, thank you very much to Mike, to Joachim, and to everybody at PharmaDoc, and to everybody here who as well has sort of joined us today. I'm sure you'll agree that that the services that are being offered are quite brilliant, really. And if you want to find out more, then feel free to contact us at Pharmaplus or a Pharma Doctor as well, and we'll be happy to sort of discuss these things with you. Sorry, I just got something else come through as well, but I won't say that out loud. So anyway, thank you very much again, and I'll draw this to a close. And so have a good evening and have a good Easter as well, and we'll see you at the same time. Not same time. I'll see you in a month's time on the 30th, where I've got another star printer for you as well, and you'll find out a bit more about that a bit later. It's also going to be online, and it's also going to be posted on our webpage. So if you want to check over a few things again, then feel free to do that as well. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you much. Bye-bye now. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye now.